recording to get started, and then we will kick things off. Hope everybody's having a great day. More people still coming in. Give us another moment here. All right. Oh, here comes someone else. I am real excited to share with y'all today a dear friend of mine who I've known virtually for quite a bit longer than I have known in person. And recently we had the fun, and I had the honor and privilege of hanging out with her in Costa Rica at an event that was just amazing. And I got to have a taste of what her skill set is. And so I'm going to try not to butcher what I would call her because she really kind of does a lot of stuff. I would say she's a coach, a mentor, a healer, a shaman. She really knows her stuff, and she is amazing at what she does. And she has a huge heart, and just is she. It comes across in everything that she does. And I am thrilled to share her with you guys today. And I'm still letting people in the room here as I tap dance just a little bit. We got more folks coming in. And so I want to introduce you to my dear pal, Julia Mikk. And I could tell a little bit about what she does, but I would totally butcher it because what she does is one of those things that it's like, how, it's hard to quantify it because it's in that realm of what words just often can't encapsulate or describe. So I will let her explain a little better. She's far better at it than I am, but it's Julia Mikk and her soul alignment, which again, I'll let her explain that part, what she does. So without further ado, and here's the really cool part, by the way. Normally we do these things virtually, but I happen to be lucky enough to be here in Colorado at an event, specifically a very small group with Julia guiding us. And so we're doing this in person today. So, hey, you guys. Welcome, Julia.
Surprise! Surprise, surprise. So good to meet you all. Do you not want to be on camera?
I can for a moment, then I will turn it over to you. But I mainly am just trying to keep letting people in the room. This is awesome. People keep showing up. So,
Wonderful. So good to meet you all. Hello. I'm looking around the room. I hope to have more of you turn on your video so I can see your beautiful faces. Hi. Hello. Hello. So Michael and I are here.
I'll pull in a little bit
Yeah,
further there.
come
There we go.
closer. Yes.
Keep letting folks in. This is awesome.
So
Great
we
turn.
are doing this webinar from Colorado, from Denver, Colorado, and Michael is attending my Courage to Leap weekend immersion, and we'll tell you a little bit more about my work in a minute. But who I am, my name is Julia Mikk, as you already heard. My accent is from Estonia. That's where I was born, in case you're wondering. It's a tiny little country right below Finland in Scandinavia. I've been United States for 25 years now and founded a Soul Alignment Institute where we're giving self-development programs specifically for coaches, therapists, and spiritual entrepreneurs to create more profound breakthroughs for their clients and to create more wealth, more financial freedom while they're serving the world. And I imagine that's why you're here. You want to step into more financial freedom, release those money blocks or whatever blocks there are that don't let you create the wealth you desire. Is that true? Is that why you're here? Give me thumbs up if you're here to step into more financial freedom in your work. Yes. So as I said, I'm a founder and CEO of Soul Alignment Institute. I wrote a book called Limitless. It's a Wall Street #1 bestseller. And overall, it has been an honor to serve coaches, therapists, and spiritual leaders all over the world. And you are that, right? You are some kind of spiritual leader or spiritual entrepreneur, and I'd love to hear exactly what you do. Would you put in the chat for me? What do you call yourself? Your profession or your title? How do you want me to know you? Just put it in the chat. I'll give you a minute to do that right now.
We have someone out there who's half Estonian.
Half Estonian.
Yeah.
So half of your body is Estonian and the other half is American. Is that it? But wonderful. I'm glad you are.
Just our screen.
And while you're putting in the chat who you are and what you do, I want to invite everyone who can turn on their videos to actually turn on their videos. The way I facilitate webinars, I'm not going to be just a talking head talking at you. I'm going to be including you. We'll be doing some experiential things. I'll be asking you many questions. So I want to make sure you're fully participating, you're fully engaged. The more you engage, the more you receive, more of those transformations in your money, in your life will happen. So I highly recommend to bring your full attention here today. This could be the turning point. This could be a pivotal moment for you in starting to make more money.
Right.
So now let me see what did all these beautiful people said in the chat. I'm going to read a couple of them back. Speaker coach and art of presence trainer. Nice. Writer's coach, script consultant, life and health master intuitive, writer producer. I raised tens of millions of dollars for a $3 billion drug company that has 12 cures for cancer. How beautiful, Rick. Oh, touches my heart. And of course, all of you are amazing, making a big difference on the planet. Holistic healer. Yes, if you haven't put it in writing yet in the chat, please do. So in a minute, we're going to close our eyes and I'm going to lead you through a process to bring you even more fully here so you could get the most value out of this time together. But before we go there, I want to bow to each and every one of you and bow to Michael for the incredibly important work you're doing in the world. Like, thank you. And my guess is that you don't fully actually understand the extreme importance of your gift and your impact on this planet. So hopefully one of the many things you receive today is the understanding of how valuable you are, how important you are, how massively necessary is your gift, your talent, your coaching, your message. That has to be known by you fully, because then actually that's connected to one of the money blocks where if you don't know your worth, it's going to be very hard to receive the money and the wealth you deserve. But we're going to get there in a little bit. For now, let's just close our eyes. Let's take 3 deep breaths. Feel the abdomen expanding as you breathe in. And feel the lower back relaxing as you breathe out. And breathing yourself into this moment to open fully to everything you're here to receive in this webinar today. If today was your greatest prayer answered, if you were about to receive something you have been praying for, longing for years, how would you listen? How would you open? How fully would you engage? So I invite you to listen with these ears, like as if Michael and I, we are about to give you $1 million. Like, how attentive would you be if that was the case? So let's take 3 more breaths with this intention, bringing yourself fully into this moment, becoming open and receptive to learn, to receive, to transform. And one thing I invite all of you to do is to not just listen to my words, but also listen to the inner guidance that will be awakening more and more during this time that you'll be having with me. The way I teach is very important in terms of awakening your own inner wisdom, awakening the guru within you. So I invite you already now, as you listen, don't listen just to my words. Notice what else awakens in you, what insight arises from inside of you, what emotion comes, what vision comes, what sensations come. Because as Michael mentioned before, yes, I'm a speaker, yes, I'm a coach, but more than anything, I'm a shaman. So I create transformations through the energy. The transformation, the metamorphosis happens from inside out, because then the wisdom you find is yours and it's your truth that has awakened within you. That's really important to me. So with that, whenever you're going to open your eyes and feel into why you're here. That's going to be my very next question to you, and you'll answer in the chat. Why are you here? If I could help you resolve one most important thing in your work, in your purpose, or in your financial situation, what would it be? If I could today resolve the most important thing in your work, in your purpose, or in your financial situation, what would it be? You don't want to be in the on the camera.
I just want to see you. Like,
Okay.
they're getting to see you.
Okay. Michael is gonna just look at me from the
I'm
side.
just facing it.
Wonderful. Clarity. So clarity about what, Daniel? Would you be open to sharing more in the chat? Just add a little more specificity. Because I'm here to serve you, right? This is the opportunity to be live with me because I want to specifically give to all of you what you need. I don't want to throw at you some kind of generic stuff that might not even apply to you. So who are you and what are you struggling with? What would you like help with? Support in creating video modules for your course on networking. What else? Why are you here? You could be doing so many other things right now in your life, but you have chosen to be here. Clearly, it's so, so important. Why is it so important? What is that block or challenge or struggle that you're facing that you really would like my support for? Financial debt and transforming old money patterns into better ones. Yes. Rebuilding your life after your house and office burned down. What an amazing initiation, Daniel. Wow. Anyone else? Why are you here? And even if you're like driving in the car, or I don't know what you're doing, washing your dishes, and you can't put in the chat the answer, or if you're just watching the recording later and there's no chat, you can respond in. Just think inside of your own self, what's your why for being here? Because your why becomes the motivating force for you to fully show up, fully receive, and fully take in what's meant for you. Chu Hong, raise your dollars. Receiving thermostat. Yeah, receiving more money. Well said. Removing blocks of prosperity and happiness. Yes. Aha. Beth, with money going too much out and not enough coming in. Yeah, let's shift that. There's a whole money block we'll be talking about specifically that's connected to this one. Clearing a past life block to having money as a priority. Ooh, I used to have that one. Actually, we'll share a story in a moment about this one. Yeah, and Rick, you're here to learn what people are struggling with so you can be more aware and more empathetic. Yeah, beautiful. So I'm going to share a little bit about me here and there as we are weaving through this webinar together. And I'll be looking to Michael every once in a while because he's staring at me. So I got to like connect with the guys. But yeah, I have needed to go through my own money blocks so much in my life. So what I'm teaching you is really coming mainly from my own experience. I didn't read it in a book. I had to go through my own dark nights to get to where I am now, running a very successful, at this point, it's $1 million company, helping people all over the world, and not just people, but coaches and healers and light workers, because my mission on this planet is to help people like you to make the greatest difference possible in the world. But you cannot make the greatest difference possible if you are not fully, completely supported financially, right? And I see some of you nodding. Like if you're thinking about your bills or how are you going to take care of this financial responsibility, your attention is not on service. Your attention is on survival. And that's not actually benefiting anyone. So I speak a lot about that the most generous thing a coach, a speaker, a leader could do is to be completely wealthy. Because when you are wealthy and financially free, your attention is liberated from worries, from anxiousness, from survival, and you can then fully be in your heart, fully can be in your genius, can fully be in your power to actually serve. Right? Does that make sense? Give me thumbs up if that makes sense to you. Thank you. So one of the stories I'm going to share here right now is actually connected to one sharing here in the chat. See, who was that? Liz. Yeah, clearing a past life block to having money as a priority. So this was one of my many money blocks that I had to clear. So many years ago, as I was doing inner work, like, why is the money not coming in easily? Why is it not coming in? I'm doing everything right in business. I even have a great business coach. I have a team. Why is the money not coming in? And as I went into the subconscious and into feeling the energy beyond this lifetime, what might have been there blocking me? That's not just from this lifetime, but maybe from others too. I realized that I had a lifetime as a monk. Actually, I had several lifetimes as a monk, but there was one specific lifetime as a monk where I literally made a vow. And it was a very deep, very sacred, extremely potent vow that said, I'm not going to be dealing with anything material, no money, nothing from the physical world, because my devotion was to the divine. So I literally vowed to give up everything that was material. And it was such a powerful vow that it literally carried through lifetimes. And once I cleared that one through using alignment process, so much opened up immediately in my life. It was interesting. I didn't even have to do more work. I didn't have to market myself more. I didn't have to find more clients. I didn't have to lead my team in a better way. I did everything the same, but all of a sudden more clients started coming to me. They started paying me more money. Everything just flowed with more ease. It was like magic. I'm like, oh my God, I just had to release that block. And of course, that wasn't the only block that I had to release, but once I released that one, already the shift was significant. So there's actually a total of 6 money blocks we'll be talking about today. And each and one of them is very important. And some money blocks will speak to you more than others. So listen to yourself, what's meant for you. But all 6 really need to be released for you to have complete freedom to create any financial freedom you want. If you're not making the money you want right now, or if it's not coming to you as easily as you want right now, I promise you there's definitely at least one of those money blocks that's at play, or it could be all 6. Yeah. So right now I'm going to be talking mainly conceptually, and every once in a while I'll engage you and I'll ask you questions in the chat. And after me talking about these 6 money blocks, we'll do an experiential exercise. I'll lead you through a process to begin the process of actually releasing the first money block. The first money block is usually the first one that has to be released. The work has to be experiential. It's actually pretty rare for me just to talk and teach cognitively, because I'm a believer that the real transformation, the lasting shift happens when we do the work through the shifting of the nervous system, through the embodiment where energy can start moving through us differently, and through shifting our subconscious programming. And all of this needs to happen through the soma. Who knows what soma is? Give me thumbs up if you know what I mean by soma. So soma is the word for body's intelligence. And body's intelligence includes many important things. Body intelligence includes nervous system reprogramming. Body's intelligence includes subconscious reprogramming. Body's intelligence includes shifting how energy moves through our energy channels so we're able to embody the new state of being. So embody the new courage, or embody the new freedom, or embody the new sense of worth. It has to be embodied. Otherwise, if you're only understanding things in the mind, in the head, it's not going to get you very far. I work with many coaches. I work with speakers who have written books and they know everything I'm about to tell them. They have written books about it, but still inside of them, the block is deeper than the mind. So we have to go deeper than the mind to create the real lasting shift in our financial situation so we could serve on a greater scale. So we will do that a little bit later in this webinar. And then I'll invite you into a full 3-hour experiential journey where the shift will happen in a very profound way. But right now, let's just go through the 6 money blocks so you understand the map, so you understand what actually has to be shifted. And then we'll talk about how to shift it. So there's 6 money blocks total. And in my 25 years of experience, I have seen that there tends to be a sequence to them. There's literally the first money block needs to be released first before you go to the next one. And after next one, once you release that one, you can go to the next one. There's some exceptions as people are different, but in general, that's how it tends to move, that it takes time to get to the 5th and 6th. So the very first money block is the block around not knowing your true worth. Does that sound familiar? Right. And even if a big part of you believes that you're amazing, there might be one small part somewhere in your subconscious that's doubting yourself. So nowadays, there's a very common term for that. It's called imposter syndrome. Like, oh, I'm putting myself out there, I'm writing a book, I'm on a stage, I'm helping my clients, but I feel like an imposter because I'm still struggling with my own things. And am I good enough to actually help people? Am I good enough to receive $50,000 per client? Am I good enough to make $1 million per year? And that 100% connects to ability to receive the wealth you desire. So put in the chat if this resonates for you. If you feel you have some of it or a lot of it, this block that's connected to you not knowing your worth.
I also have the chat here now if you want to be able to read it from
Oh,
this.
I'm used to this. Yes, 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 yes. And now I'm going to ask you to think along with me because I'm not a talking head talking at you. I want you to participate and find your own wisdom and your own clarity within. So this is the question. This money block where you don't know your worth, you don't fully, completely own your incredible magnificence. How is it connected to you not receiving the wealth and financial freedom you have desired? How is it connected? How does it sabotage you receiving financially what you want? Put it in the chat. Yeah, right. Rachel, exactly. You don't charge enough money. Of course, if you don't believe you're good enough, why would you receive $10,000 per client or $50,000 for a private session package? Missing opportunities, Bruce, that's a very good point. It's literally like we have this bias that's influencing what we see and what we don't see in the world. It's fascinating how our perception works. Our perception is very subjective, and our perception is 100% based on what we believe internally. So if I don't believe I deserve to be on a TV show, there's no way I'm gonna see opportunities where I could be easily invited to be on a TV show. If I believe I'm not good enough to collaborate with somebody like Michael, then Michael, I could not even see that Michael is in my world and I could collaborate this way because I don't believe I'm good enough to have this in my world. So it's very important what you're saying, Beth, that we don't see the opportunities if we don't believe we deserve to have them. Yeah, I'm reading what else you're saying. Overwhelmed and procrastination issues. Exactly, Daniel. Then don't ask for money. Funky sales conversations. Exactly, Liz. They can become pretty funky because you're telling people what you're charging, but then you feel really weird inside, and people feel that you feel weird, and now they feel weird. And then, of course, nobody's going to buy anything. Yeah, and it becomes pretty funky. So that's money block number one. Let's take a deep breath with that one. Actually, let's take 3 deep breaths. And just acknowledging what lives in you can already begin shifting certain energetics within you. So allowing that shift by taking a few deep breaths with it. When we breathe deeper, it allows more life force, more chi to flow through us. So whatever was even a little bit stuck can start opening up. That's why I'm a big proponent of breath. And I will invite you to breathe deeply here and there with me. Good. So money block number 2 is cultural conditioning. So very often, this is what people think their money block is. And they're like, oh, Julia, no, I think money is good. Money is good. Everyone thinks money is bad, but I think money is good. Okay, so maybe on this level, you have released the money block. But there are many people on this level that are still stuck in the cultural conditioning. And the culture nowadays says that coaches, healers don't deserve to be wealthy. And culture can even say in many places that overall being a millionaire is greedy, is selfish. Look at the children in Africa, they're starving. You shouldn't be wealthy. That's not fair. And if you believe messaging like this, are you going to let yourself receive a lot of money? No. If you believe this messaging that having a lot of money is bad, you're going to sabotage your way to wealth, either you know it or not. So put in the chat if you have picked up some conditioning from the culture that says something about money, that money is not good, or having a lot of money is bad, or being wealthy is greedy, or anything like that. What you might have picked up that might be influencing you right now. I'll give you a minute to put it in the chat. And the actual statement, the actual belief that you might be carrying that comes from the culture around you. Broke ass healers, right, Liz? Yeah, that the healers are broke. Of course they're broke because they're here to help others. They're not here to thrive. They're here to serve. And how weird is that? That's totally upside down. But yeah, that's one big messaging for sure. Let's see what else you put in the chat. Feeling like a fraud. Patricia. Money doesn't grow on trees. People got rich by taking advantage of others. Ooh, I have heard that one a lot, Bruce. The only way you get rich is by being like a banker and taking advantage of everyone. Like, I feel a contraction just talking about this, right? And if I were to believe this, there's no way I would ever let myself charge a lot or receive a lot financially, because deep inside, I would believe this is a bad thing. And I would not go for what's actually bad or unfair or not kind. So we need to understand that this is a cultural messaging that's not true. And we need to have the shift be on a subconscious level. So we are not just having a new positive affirmation, but the subconscious also takes on the new truth. That's when you really know that the money block has been released for good because the subconscious has released it. I'm pretty sure to this crowd, I don't have to explain the importance of subconscious, right? That the actual shift, the actual change only happens in one's life if the subconscious programming shifts. Because the conscious mind is only the tip of an iceberg, just a tiny tip. But the real decision maker, the real reality creator is our subconscious. It's underneath the surface. And unfortunately, a lot of coaching modalities, a lot of therapies don't get that far to shift on this level. And this is also one reason why I created this alignment process to help people shift on this level, because I have seen them struggle so much trying on the surface level, mindfulness, coaching techniques, therapies. But if subconscious is not reprogrammed, nothing you do on a surface level really makes a lasting difference. Because every choice we make, every perception we have, every decision is actually made by the subconscious, right? Does that make sense? Do you believe that too? Give me thumbs up if that aligns with your understanding of the world. Yeah. Oh, I like this. Bob, I like, even if your video is not on, I appreciate you giving me thumbs up. Thank you, Chu Hong. Yeah. Okay, so that's money block number 2. Let's take 2 deep breaths with this one. Just inviting our energy body, inviting our nervous system, inviting our subconscious to consider that what if we don't have to believe those messages from the culture? What if they're not true? And that's not necessarily like the deepest shift we're doing here right now, but just to already start inviting the deeper aspects of you to consider a new possibility. Okay, money block number 3, childhood conditioning. And that's a big topic. I'm actually teaching a year-long training right now. I'm certifying people in alignment process. And the whole year-long training is basically how to release childhood trauma. So it's a very deep topic. I'm gonna spend 3 minutes here talking about it, but it's a very deep topic because in childhood, there's so many different things that can happen that impact one's ability to receive wealth later. And when I say childhood, I also include pre and perinatal psychology. So one of the things in my background is pre and perinatal somatic psychotherapy. And it doesn't mean that I work with babies. I could, but I just have chosen to work with adults that are carrying the imprints and the programs from the time when they were very, very little. There's certain things that might have even happened at your birth, or even during the moment of gestation, even during the time of conception. It's amazing the imprints, the programs we take on very, very early on. The tricky things about these programs, it's absolutely impossible to resolve them through just talk therapy or through regular coaching, because those programs are so deep in the subconscious, we don't even remember what happened. I mean, do you remember what happened when you were in mother's belly? No, you don't, right? But we can access those memories. And the reason to access them is because if we don't heal them, if we don't release those blocks, they will keep influencing our lives, our businesses, and our money-making capacity now. So I want to bring you an example here. I was working with a client who was saying that, oh, she had a great childhood. She had a wonderful childhood. Her mother and dad loved her and she had siblings. All was well. Like she doesn't have any blocks from childhood. Like, no, no, no. The reason why she's not making the money she wants must be some other reason. It cannot be connected to childhood. But then I took her into alignment process. And in alignment process, we were able to shift the brainwave state and go into her subconscious. And the subconscious always remembers everything. It's like this huge storage house of information. So when she went to the subconscious, she realized that something had happened at the moment of her birth. Basically, what had happened is that she was removed from her mother suddenly, right after she was born, and she was left alone, isolated in a room away from her mother. And for her, it was a complete shock, like in complete shock, terror, almost like this manic feeling of I'm alone. There's nobody here to support me. I might die. Like there's nobody here. And my mom is clearly not here. And when she tracked it down, she realized that this was a thread through her entire life, that she kept recreating the circumstance of feeling alone, where she felt always alone in her business. It was really hard for her to hire people. She never felt supported by them. She, of course, always happened to hire people that weren't competent or right for her. Right? And she was always in this state of aloneness, and that translated to money. She never had enough money to feel well supported. So she was always in this like fear of survival. I'm alone. Will I die? I don't know what's going to happen next. And she kept recreating this reality because the baseline program was set into motion since birth. And all of us have programs like this from birth, from after birth, from early childhood, from gestation. And again, unfortunately, they're so early that most people don't remember them. But you have to find a way to go into the subconscious to release them, because otherwise they will keep affecting you and limiting you without you even knowing it. And maybe some of you have some memories. So put in the chat if you are remembering something from the childhood where you felt not fully supported, or not fully held, or not fully seen, or not safe. Because all those feelings will translate to your ability to make money later. If you don't feel supported or held or safe as a little boy or little girl, you will recreate this exact reality later. But in the adulthood, it will include the financial realm. In adulthood, it will include you not having money. So again, you feel not safe in the world, not seen, or not supported. You actually feel the same exact feeling that you felt when you were little. The vibration of that memory is creating your reality now. So put in the chat if any of this resonates, if you remember anything at all, even if it's not from an early childhood, maybe it's from a little later time when you didn't feel safe or didn't feel fully supported, or in some way there was agitation or fear in your system. What was going on? And this is a safe space to be really vulnerable and share what really happened. Sharing is part of the healing. By being seen and heard can already start shifting things within you. I'll give you a minute just to write it into the chat. And if you're not able to write for some reason, just quietly think to yourself, what happened? Even if you don't fully understand how it's connecting to your money situation now, just feel into what was going on when you were little, when you didn't feel safe, you didn't feel fully supported, or there was some kind of fear or agitation going on. Yeah, so Mary, thank you for sharing this, that you grew up as an outsider in your own family, in your own home. And now you don't seem to know how to find your place, like your own home in the world where you could be seen and be fully functional. It's such a direct connection. I appreciate you, Mary, sharing this. If you don't feel at home in your home as a little girl, if you feel like an outsider, and if you don't release that memory from your subconscious, you will keep recreating this exact situation now as an adult. That's the power of our subconscious on our reality. Right? You feel like an outsider. So you don't have the clients that you want to have, or the team that's around you doesn't really support you. So you feel always like an outsider, they don't get you. Or it's very hard for you to put yourself out there because you think, wow, well, you're an outsider, nobody actually wants you. So you're not going to fully shine bright. Rachel, thank you for sharing that. You were treated like you shouldn't exist. Wow, that's hard. Right? So how does it impact your ability to put yourself out there now? Because if a part of you believes you shouldn't exist, you're going to always hide. You're not going to show up and say, I am incredible. Yes, you should pay me $100,000 because I'm off the charts magnificent. Right? You could never say that if you feel you shouldn't exist. You would hide and you would play small. Yeah, reading what else you're saying here. Marla, not safe as a child, abused. Yeah, so again, not safe in the world, not safe with people who are close to me. That means I'm not safe in the world. So you're going to recreate that exact circumstance now. So you're going to create whatever you need to create to start feeling not safe again, because that's the underlying baseline program that needs to play itself out. But that's why it's so important to have a technology to release those programs from the subconscious. So you could have a new baseline that allows you to feel safe, that allows you to thrive, that allows you to have the money to fully support you and take care of you. So thank you for sharing it. I'm not going to go through each one of your chats, but I did read through them, and thank you so much for being open and vulnerable here. So let's take a couple of deep breaths with this. Yeah, you touched some deep places, maybe some scary places just now. Just a couple of deep, full inhales. Feel the belly expand as you breathe in. Feel your lower back relax as the exhale comes out. And just bringing some of your kindness, your gentleness to those memories from when you were little. Yeah. And later we'll talk more about how to actually shift them. But right now, just taking a moment to bring kindness to them. Okay. Thank you for participating so fully. I really appreciate you. Okay, next money block. Are you ready? Give me thumbs up if you're ready for more. So this one is even deeper. So if you thought childhood was deep, take a breath. We're going to go even deeper. This is ancestral conditioning. And this is the most invisible conditioning that most people don't even know exists. So they can never release it because they don't even know there's limitation coming from the ancestral lineage that doesn't let them be fully thriving now. And again, many coaching modalities and therapies unfortunately never address that. But this is like a massive burden and massive block that blocks many people. And they not even know it. So let me bring a personal example from my life. That again was one of the blocks I had to release because like half of my life I was wondering why was it so hard to make money. So I was really going in and diving in to find out what the heck was going on. So this was one block I came across that made a massive difference for me once I released it. So what I realized is that in my ancestral lineage, there was a lot of fear and limitation around wealth. What had happened is that my mother, when she was little, she was taken out of her home with her mother and her two sisters, and they were taken to a concentration camp because at that time in Estonia, Stalin came in, and Stalin had this cool idea that wealthy people are not good. Everyone should be homogenized. Everyone should be exactly even. So if anyone was a little too wealthy or a little too intelligent or a little too educated, they were like put down to even out the field. Like he thought this was a good idea. Trying not to judge him, but it was pretty bad actually. So my mom and her family was taken from this beautiful home in Estonia to concentration camp in Siberia. On top of it, my mother's dad, my granddad, was sent to prison for like no good reason. Like no good reason. Just let's send him to prison. So he spent years in prison. And of course, we all know how hard prison is. Concentration camp, this horrific situation, like barely surviving, being given tiny piece of bread every day just to feed the entire family, no electricity. I don't even know how they survived through the winters in Siberia. They were just huddling underneath the blanket all together to warm each other up. It was really bad. And that was a consequence of them being wealthy and educated in the beginning. So, can you see the programming I was born into? Does that make sense? That being wealthy, being educated, doing well will result in something very scary and painful. And I was wondering half of my life why wealth was so hard to come by. But I didn't know it until I went into my subconscious and did the work to find out what was the block hidden there. And all of us have ancestral lineages that are not completely blissful. Just think back generations, right? Genocide, war, witches burned at stakes. There's so many horrendous things that have happened for centuries now. And all these people were our ancestors. So everyone is carrying something from the ancestral lineage. Either they know what it is or not, but it has to be released for you to fully find the freedom you want. So put in the chat, how does it touch you? How does it impact you hearing all this? Maybe you have a sense of something that was happening in your ancestral lineage. Or maybe you're just having a feeling or emotion right now as you're listening. So please share that too. Because even if it's just a feeling and no specifics, that's also information. Something inside of you is showing itself. It's saying, yes, it resonates. Something is happening in me. I can tell there is something within me that's connected to this topic of the ancestral lineage. So I'll give you a moment to put it in the chat. Mary, yeah, that your own ancestors, but also all ancestors from all souls' lifetimes could be impacting us, right? Yes, good point. Marla, 3 of your grandparents escaped from Latvia because it wasn't safe to be Jewish there. Right. It wasn't safe. Again, safety and escape. Right. So if that's the energy you're carrying, I'm not safe, I have to escape. I'm not safe, I have to escape. How is it going to impact your ability to thrive and receive great wealth? It's not. You don't even feel safe. So it's not possible for you to relax, settle down, and receive and be fully seen as you receive. Yeah, Bruce, many ancestors lived in poverty. Exactly. That's very straightforward example. Ancestors in poverty, you're in poverty. right? Because that's the program, that's the conditioning you were born into. So you carry what they carried, but you don't have to. If you have the right technology to fully release that conditioning from your system, you can, and you don't have to keep living it out. And Daniel, also same thing, grandparents were in poverty, exactly. Wow, Liz, that's so big, right? Your grandfather was being murdered for money? Holy. I mean, first of all, Liz, like that's a miracle that you even hear, even willing to hear about money. Like that literally speaks to how much inner work you have already done, Liz. That you're literally even willing to be in this conversation. And clearly there's more to clear, because if somebody was murdered for money, good luck not being terrified of money. But again, this can be released, this can be shifted. I promise you, I've done it to so many people, with so many people all over the world. And we will talk about how to shift it in just a little bit. But for now, let's just take a few deep breaths again. Just letting this energy that got awakened move. Just breathing with it. Breath allows more chi, more prana move through your system, which means whatever was stuck, whatever was felt could be moved. It could start moving through and letting go. Thank you. Okay, next money block. Money block number 5. So it's not going to be as heavy. So we're going to go to lighter ground now. Because once you move through those deep blocks and get to money block number 5 and 6, there's a lot more levity to them. There's a lot more lightness. So as I said in the beginning, there's usually a sequence. Like you have to move through the surface ones to get to the deeper ones. And then the release, the liberation happens more and more as you move forward by releasing the final money blocks. So once somebody releases the money blocks we have talked about so far, they enter the zone of receiving, how to receive incoming wealth, because the blocks are now gone. So they are able to receive it, but only to a degree. So now we have to work on the energetics of money. So part of this alignment process is the energy medicine that comes from Chinese medicine, working with the meridians of the body and the energy channels of the entire energy system. And how energy moves to us and how we're able to receive it has a lot to do with your ability to receive wealth. I was born with a lot of intuitive abilities, and my psychic abilities awakened later in my 20s. So when I now see people, I can see energies and I can see how energy moves to them or away from them. And I can see blocks and what's blocking it too. And when I see a lot of coaches and healers and heart-centered leaders, I see almost always the same exact pattern. I see their energy going out. The energy goes usually from the heart and it goes out because they want to give, right? You all want to give. That's why you're coaches. That's why you're speakers. Or that's why you're helping cancer cure come to the world. So your energy goes this way. And that's good, thank God. But it becomes a problem if this is the only way it goes. If your energy only goes out, I'm here to serve, I'm here to serve, I'm here to serve. When money wants to come in, your energy system literally has no clue how to let it in because it doesn't know how to let it in the incoming flow. And that requires a different kind of rewiring. It's a rewiring of the energy body, where we need to open up our energy channels and our physiology and our nervous system in a way that can receive the incoming flow. And when you receive it, amazing things happen. Like you start receiving money, but you start receiving more love, more opportunities, more resources, more friends, because just your funnel, your channel for receiving has opened up. Right? So this money block is called not able to receive. And the remedy for that is opening up your reception channel. I had something interesting happen with the client with that. She she's from Italy, Marina. So she came to one of my workshops and she completely rewired this ability to receive by going through this alignment process. And first of all, it just felt blissful. It felt like she was able to receive bliss and pleasure and aliveness and well-being. So it was an amazing experience. And she thought that's all it was. She's like, oh, that was amazing, Julie. That was so blissful. Thank you. But she didn't know that the next thing that was going to happen was pretty miraculous. There were actually two things that happened. First thing that happened is that within a month, she quadrupled her income as a coach. And she had no idea this was ever even possible, but it just happened effortlessly. Some people wanted to start paying her more. Other people came in as new clients. Like everything all of a sudden reorganized and just happened without her trying hard. And that was around money. She's like, okay, Julia, you helped with the money block. I get it. So thank you. That was amazing. But then there was a second thing that was even more interesting. Second thing was that out of nowhere, her parents came to her, and her parents never said that before, ever even mentioned it. But all of a sudden they say, Marina, we just decided to pay off your mortgage. We just love you, and we thought, why not? Let's pay off your mortgage. You have 30 more years to pay. We're just going to pay it off. They had never mentioned it ever. And all of a sudden, it happened right after she released this money block. So she knew this was not a coincidence. Once you open this reception channel, is what I call it, not only more money comes in, but amazing opportunities like parent paying off her mortgage. I've had people who were able to sell a house that didn't sell for 2 years, like amazing things that just start coming your way because you're able to let them come your way. And I see some of you nodding, so it makes sense. Put in the chat, how does it touch you? How does it make sense to you? Maybe you have your own unique insights coming through as you're hearing me say all this. I love that, Maria or Marla. Yeah, in the art of presence, you do an exercise experiencing the energy of giving and the energy of receiving. Yes. And there are deeper layers. Again, the real work in alignment process happens in the subconscious. And sometimes we don't even know how much we can receive because we have never received so much. So one of the things Michael is doing with me this weekend is to actually change the point of reference, is to recognize how much receiving is possible. So the system recognizes that, holy shit, I can receive so much. It can feel this blissful. It can feel this powerful. And now his system knows how to go into his world and start receiving on a whole new level, more than ever before. Yeah. Seeing what else you're writing here. Yeah, Bruce. Yeah, filling up the cup so it overflows into the saucer. Yeah. When we serve from the saucer, our cup is always full. Oh my God, I love that, Bruce. I'm gonna totally use this. I usually say like serving from an overflowing cup. So that's one big part of all my workshops is how to serve from an overflowing cup, which means you first have to receive a lot for you. But Bruce, you're taking it to a whole new level. I love that, Bruce. Serving from the saucer. Exactly. And the cup is always full. Love it. Yeah. And Bruce, also the compliment, the same thing with compliment. You can start recognizing these patterns in other areas. If somebody cannot receive a compliment, if that compliment energy cannot be fully let in, how is this possibly going to receive $1 million? There's no way. They're not going to let themselves receive even $5,000. So let's take 2 breaths with this. And maybe even imagining what is it like to let in wealth and support and goodness. And you can even do it with the hands. You can stretch out your arms and very slowly imagine yourself receiving what wants to come to you. And take a couple of deep, full breaths in, receiving it. Yeah. To really rewire this pattern requires a full alignment process. But for now, it's just nice to even start imagining what would it be like to receive more. Okay, and last money block, but not least, is the money block that believes it has to be hard. It's the subconscious belief that it has to be hard. So by now, when you have released all these money blocks, the money actually is now starting to flow to you. It does. Like all of a sudden, people want to start paying you more money, more opportunities come to be visible, more clients come in. But if that last money block is still there, that doesn't believe it can be easy, you are not going to let it be easy. And this money block is literally the belief, the program inside of you that believes receiving a lot of money has to be difficult. So you will always make it more hard than it needs to be. And when I speak of wealth, when I speak of prosperity, I always automatically include that it happens effortlessly. So for me, when I work with clients and we get to money block number 6, it's always about the ease and effortlessness of letting that money come in. So I have an example of that. I was working with a client who was a coach or consultant, and more clients started coming in and more money started coming in. But then one time she came to my session and she said, Julia, I want to tell you what happened. I had a client who I worked with, and he was so grateful for my work. He wanted to give me a tip of $2,000. Do you imagine? He just wanted to tip me $2,000. That must be the work I have done internally. That's such a good news, right, Julia? I said, great. And let me ask you a question. Did you actually accept this money? And she said, oh no, why would I accept this money? No, that's weird. No, no, no. I'm not going to accept that. That's weird. Right? I'm like, there you have it. Money block number 6. She didn't believe that it could come this easily. So of course, we did the work. I led her through the alignment process, and they sent her back to the client, and she accepted that money. Because if she cannot accept $2,000 coming easily like this, how is she going to accept $10,000 or $100,000 coming easily? I had a client who tipped me $16,000 one. Well, that was about 8 years ago. He just left me a voice message. He's like, Julia, I thought about it, and I realized I'm so grateful. I just want to say thank you by giving you $16,000. And thankfully, right before he said that, I was in a deep retreat and I was deepening my capacity to receive. So, from a deeply receptive place, when I received that voice message, I was like, oh, of course, $16,000. Obviously, he's going to give me $16,000. But it's because I was in such a deep place of receiving and believing it can be easy that letting this money in was no problem. It felt natural. And again, that doesn't only go for money, it goes for opportunities. Being on podcasts or TV show or having the right ghostwriter for your book or right team. But we have to shift those programs internally before we can manifest the new reality. So put in the chat, how does it touch you? How does it make sense to you? What comes up for you when I speak of that money block number 6? right, Bruce? Releasing that perfectionist part of you. It doesn't have to be perfect, and it can be simple, right? Liz, you're connecting it to the ancestral conditioning. All money blocks are definitely interconnected. So your ancestral conditioning could be connected to this idea that it cannot be easy. It always has to be hard work. Yeah, Jenny's saying definitely need to shift that one. This one, by the way, this money block number 6 is connected to the pattern where you receive a lot of money, but then it always trickles out. You always end up somehow giving it away or losing it, or you have a new surprise bill, or you have to pay taxes more than you thought. It's because that goes into the category of money not staying with you easily. Yeah. Thank you for sharing. So let's take 2 deep breaths with this one, just to let the transformation be also internal, letting energies begin shifting in you as we're talking about these new concepts. Just 2 deep, full breaths. Just even bringing in a new possibility. What if it could be easy? So with that, I have one more story, and then I want to share with you how the shift can happen and where we can take care of that. I believe stories are really important because they carry the transmission of what's also possible for you. So it's not just a theory. I'm not just talking theory, I'm talking from my experience and from the experience of many, many, many clients I've worked with. So this is a story of a gentleman who actually lives in the UK. His name is Sam Kukathas. And when he started working with me, he was a wonderful coach, very heart-centered, but he was never able to make the kind of money he wanted to. I think he was plateauing always at $3,000 per private session package. And even that felt like a lot to him. And it was always a struggle to find another client. It was this hard thing. But his heart was in the right place and he wanted to help people. He was also a sound healer and he was really there to help people release fear. It's a beautiful human. When we started working with him, we started with the first money block, of course, which is knowing your worth. Releasing that imposter syndrome allows you to step into fully knowing your worth. We release that, then we work through the cultural conditioning, the messaging that was carried in his subconscious. And as we kept going, we went into the childhood conditioning release. And at that point, that was a couple of months in, he all of a sudden was able to start charging a lot more, and not charging more, but attracting people that wanted to pay him more. So he went to charging $30,000. Actually, for him, it's euros, 30,000 euros for a 3-month package. Actually, was it 3 months? Yeah, 30,000 euros for 3-month package. For him, he had never charged this much before. He was so amazed. But because he had signed up for a 6-month program with me, he was like, I guess I'll keep going. Maybe it gets better. So let's keep doing the work. And as he kept doing the work, he elevated his prices to 60,000 euros per client. And then once we got to the money block number 6 and money started coming in and he started allowing it to come in easily, something amazing happened where he started having clients that paid him $100,000 per client. And that was a 12-month program then he desired by then. So 12 months is 100,000 for one client. So if he took 5 clients, that was 500, I keep saying dollars, 5,000, 500,000 euros. And for him, that boggled his mind. He didn't even know this could ever be possible. Not just courage to charge so much, but having real people paying him that money, right? 100,000 euros per client for a 12-month program. I love sharing this story to really elevate your understanding of what also can be possible for you. But that did become possible for him only after he worked through all 6 money blocks, all 6 of them, not just the first couple. So how does it sound to you? What happens in you when you just imagine receiving 100,000 euros per client? Tell me in the chat. What's the emotion that comes up? Excitement. Nice, Bruce. Amazing. Makes you laugh. Seems like a joke. Like a good joke or bad joke, Beth? It's possible. Very good. Yeah. It is possible. He's a real human. His testimonial is on my website. You can go watch it. It's happening. And the last thing that happened for him, he was invited to Agape with Michael Beckwith to be on the stage with Michael Beckwith. What's the full name for Michael Beckwith? Yeah. Michael Beckwith. Raise your hand if you know who Michael Beckwith is. So that was another way when he opened up the reception channel. It wasn't just money that started coming in. It was these amazing opportunities to be on the stage with Michael Beckwith in front of thousands of people. I mean, that was really special for him. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So we're going to talk about how to shift it. So we are starting to come towards the end of this webinar. I'm going to do a very short little practice with you, but what I really want to invite you into is a 3-hour experiential journey. It's called Breakthrough Experience, and it's online. So wherever you are in the world, you can come and join me live. Breakthrough Experience is what I have been talking about. So we'll be going through this alignment process, where you will go through this deep experiential shift. It's like a deep shamanic journey where you go in and start releasing the blocks that you might not even know are there. Some of them you know, some of them you don't even know because they're subconscious. And that experiential shift is necessary because we must reprogram the subconscious, and we must rewire the nervous system to carry the new capacity to receive wealth. And that includes knowing your worth, releasing those childhood blocks, ancestral blocks, right? In the very first breakthrough session, you most likely will work with the first one, which is releasing the imposter syndrome. But some of you might already go through the 2-3 money blocks. So you'll see how deep you'll be able to go in one session. But it really is a very deep and profound experience. Michael actually had it with me in person just yesterday. Anything you want to share about that?
Yes, and oops, someone's still coming in a little late. Let me let them in. And I will say, because I know some of you did arrive after I'd already moved the camera over to Julia, we happen to be doing this in person together out near Denver, Colorado, and it's a great opportunity. And so, yeah, yesterday we went through this experience. This is why I'm here for this immersive 3-day event with Julia, and it is profound. And what I have to say that differentiates what Julia does versus so many other coaches out there. How many of you would consider yourself a head type? You're a little more cerebral. Yeah, I see a few hands going up there. That's me too. And the thing is like things can be explained to you, like how to ride a bike, and you can understand it, but you have to experience it. And this is extremely experiential, and you don't know what you don't know until you're in it. And that's why I'm here, because I had a taste of it in Costa Rica and I'm like, I want more and let's go deeper. And so Julia was kind enough to set up this weekend. And so I recommend any opportunity you get to work with Julia. And especially, and I know this one you're talking about is virtual. I'm gonna have us both on there. This one you're talking about is virtual, right? But and that's a great start. But if there's any opportunity to work with her live and in person, yeah, it's the bee's knees, the bomb, the whatever. I'm trying to think of a good expressive of it's like beautiful. So
Mm.
yeah, that's what I would
Thank
say
you.
about it.
Thank you.
You
I
bet.
mean, if somebody wants to work with me in person, you can email me and we can talk about it separately. But I do have this opportunity for all of you online. And it really is a very profound shift. I've had people literally say that after 10 years of therapy and coaching, they did not have the kind of shift and transformation and release as they had in one alignment process with me. So it's a very deep shamanic technology that rewires the subconscious, reprograms your nervous system, and starts releasing those blocks that are very deeply hidden. So I'll send you information about it via email, but I want to give you all who is truly interested and who is live right now a coupon code that allows you to have 50% off. So usually that workshop is about $120 and you'll get 50% off. So it's 60 for you. So if you want that coupon code, put the email address right now in the chat. And then Michael will give me that chat later and I'll see who wants the coupon code. I'll give you a moment to do that. If you're not able to, let's see, for those who cannot put it in the chat, just email me. Just email me. If you're not here right now live and you cannot put your yes in the chat, email me. My email is julia@alignment.com, but I will also email you all today and you can just respond to that email saying, hey, excuse me, I'm interested. Please give me the coupon code. Yeah.
And I want to say something about this as well, is that it would be very easy for us to just send the coupon code to everybody. But here's the thing, just saying I want it, raising your hand, that is the first step. That's when it starts. And so that's why I believe why you do it this way, because that you make that leap. That is the first action. So please let us know that you're interested in that.
That was the next thing I was going to say. Michael and I are so aligned. Like your ability to say, yes, I claim it, I want it, I'm ready, I'm committed is a very important part of the transformation. So that's why, like, thank you for putting your email here. If you are not able to put an email in the chat, maybe because you're watching the recording later, just respond to the email that I'm sending to everyone in this group and just say, hey, I want the coupon code. I see the question, when is the 3-hour workshop? It's September 19th. And you will have the recording. So even if you cannot come live, you'll get a lot out of it by watching the recording later, I promise. So one way or another, register to make sure you get access to it. By the way, I have another gift. It just came to me like within last 10 minutes. So interesting. Some things just come to me spontaneously and I want to give it to you. I don't have a lot of time for one-on-one connection, but I do want to open up 10 spots. So for somebody who really wants one-on-one time with me, I'm going to give you 20-minute, I call it integration call, 20-minute integration call for you to talk to me one-on-one about what's happening for you, where you might be blocked financially, why money is not coming in, what could be the reason, how could you shift it, anything you want to talk to me one-on-one about, I'm going to gift you a 20-minute call. So for that, email me again with that request. I want to be fair to people who watch the recording later. So even if you're not with me live and you watch the recording, email me. Make sure that you receive my email. The subject line will be in big capital letters. It will look like this. So it's not going to be possible for you to miss it. It's going to say free call opportunity. And just email me saying, I would like it. I hope I'm one of the 10. Right? I wish I could give it to all of you, but I am very busy. So only the first 10 will get it. And again, it goes in the category of claiming what you want and being fast with taking action. That's an important part of your success. Yeah. So you're getting 2 gifts from me. You're getting the coupon code for the 3-hour workshop on September 19th. And you're getting this free one-on-one integration call.
Amazing gifts. Take advantage of both of them. I highly recommend it. I still got 2 more days out here, which I'm really excited about. And I'll also send another email out to everybody who signed up for this workshop to share more with you as I go deeper into this process.
For sure. Yeah. But for now, as promised, let's take 10 minutes to do an experiential journey together. It's not a 3-hour workshop, obviously. 10 minutes is a small amount of time, but it still could be meaningful. So for that, close your eyes. Make sure you're in a comfortable position so your body can relax. And take 3 deep breaths to start with. Let the breath help you become present here and now. Great. And the next 3 breaths, navigate them down into your abdomen. You can even put your hand on your abdomen gently if you want, so you can feel your abdomen expand as you breathe in. 3 times. And bring to your consciousness whatever is most meaningful from your experience today. I know some of you shared some deep things from your ancestral lineage. Some of you shared some deep things about childhood. Some people shared some imposter syndrome related things. So, whatever is most alive for you, whatever came up for you that might still be here for you, just bring that to your consciousness. So, that feeling that comes with it. It's not just a thought, it's not just a vision, there's a feeling that comes with it. And then locate this feeling in your body. Where do you feel it the most in your body? And then very slowly and gently lift your right hand, your right arm in slow motion. Put it on that area of your body where you feel that feeling. Very gently, as if bringing pure kindness with it. And then lift your left hand very slowly, left arm moving in slow motion to your chest, to your heart. And when you land your hand there, let it be a very gentle landing. So it's this gentleness and kindness that your own touch communicates. And in this place, we're going to take 7 deep breaths together, just feeling 2 hands on your body. Just 7 deep breaths. You can count them at your own pace. Hopefully, inhale goes into the belly first. That's where you feel the expansion. And exhale is effortless. Exhale just pops out and all of a sudden it's done. Let the inhale be even deeper than you're used to. So more life force, more healing energy can course through you thanks to the breath. And the seventh breath, whenever you get there, let it be your deepest, your most luxurious, your inhale yet. And after the seventh breath, just keeping your eyes closed and feeling the feelings and sensations that have awakened in your body. If the breath wants to stay deeper, that's fine, whatever feels good to it. Just allowing the sensations and feelings that are starting to open up in the body, because that's the healing energy that starts to open up the blocked places. Nice. And notice one place somewhere in the body right now that feels more open, more relaxed, more enjoyable. Something happening there that feels good right now. Maybe it's a spaciousness that feels nice. Maybe it's a new aliveness that feels good. Maybe it's an actual pleasurable sensation awakening. And let yourself receive it. Can you let yourself feel that one place in that one part of the body that feels good right now? And then we take 3 breaths to receive this enjoyment, to amplify our ability to feel what feels good. Just 3 deep breaths. As if breathing in what feels pleasurable. Breathing in what feels more open. And that's it. Just gonna take 30 more seconds here to simply enjoy. Can you sink into this place that has opened up? This place knows freedom. It's not blocked. It has a wisdom in it that's very meaningful and important. And as you're enjoying it, get to know it. How would you describe this place that you're enjoying? What qualities come with it? And whenever you're ready, share in the chat, what are these qualities that you're experiencing in this one spot in your body that you're enjoying? How would you describe it? Peaceful, calm, powerful, confident, gracious, Playful, exuberant. Love it, Rachel. Strength. Oh, Dan, I love that. Peaceful determination and courage. Yes. So then I have one last question while you're enjoying this place. What does this place know about your ability to create the wealth you desire? What does this feeling know about your ability to create the wealth you desire? So there might be like an actual statement or message in it. And put it in the chat when you're ready. Yeah. Michael's message is that he deserves it and it doesn't have to be hard. Exactly. Barbara, it knows that it can create wealth easily and sweetly. Delara, you feel that you are free and able to get what you want in this space. Exactly. That's very common. Many of my clients say that, wow, from this place, anything is possible, literally anything. And then they go off and can take action in a whole new way. Patricia, easy peasy.
Mhm.
Right. So this is what I call your blueprint. It's your soul's blueprint. And the work is how to deepen into it and not have blocks get in the way. Because after this webinar, you might go back to your emailing or whatever you do, and all of a sudden the block is back in. Old imposter syndrome is back in. Or tomorrow, all of a sudden, you don't feel you deserve to charge $10,000 per client. The blocks come back in. So that's why the real technology in my work is how to shift these blocks on a subconscious level that allows them to be actually gone. And then you can stay in this freedom and power and determination, knowing it can be easy and knowing that you deserve great wealth and letting yourself fully receive it. So that's the invitation for the breakthrough experience. I think a couple of people just joined later. I let them in. So if you didn't hear the invite, here it is again. If you want a coupon code, a 50% savings for the breakthrough experience I'm offering, put your email in the chat. If you haven't done it yet, put it. Putting your email in the chat is like you saying, I'm ready, give it to me. I'm ready to release those money blocks. I'm ready for the generous gift Julia Mikk is giving me. Bring it. I want it. I say yes. Yeah, so if you haven't put your email in the chat to receive that workshop, do it now. And as a reminder, the second gift I'm giving to you, well, to some of you, is 10 calls. I'm making myself available for 10 one-on-one integration calls. It's 20 minutes each. A lot can happen within 20 minutes, and sometimes we go over time. That's okay too. But it's one-on-one calls to help you with your very specific, unique challenges that are yours to clear. And you want to talk to me about that and you want to understand how to clear them. For that, to claim one of those 10 calls, email me. You'll receive an email today. The subject line will be all capitalized. If you don't receive it in your inbox, check your spam. This will be the subject line, free call opportunity. And then just email me saying, I would like one of the spots. I hope there's still one available for me. Yeah, just claim it. And otherwise, even if I don't meet with you one-on-one, I look forward to seeing you on September 19th for the breakthrough experience. That's when we'll have the actual experiential shift to reprogram the subconscious, rewire the nervous system, and start clearing the blocks from the first one down. Should we open up for questions if anyone
Yeah,
has
I think
questions?
we have some time. So we'll open up for some Q&A. And I also just want to thank all of you for taking the time out of your day to join us today. I know it's been powerful for me. I hope you feel the same. And actually we'll wrap this up in a little bit after some Q&A because I'm excited because we're going into another deep session today. So thrilled. Anybody, if you've got any question at all, you can raise your digital hand, or if you're on camera, raise your hand and we'll see you and we'll have you unmute yourself and fire away. And if not, maybe you're in an integrative phase right now, and so you just want to percolate in that for a bit, and we can just wrap it up and be looking for those emails from us. And um, I'm excited about this work. I love what I'm experiencing, and that's why I felt compelled to invite everybody to. Uh, I don't want to keep Julia all to myself. I want to share her with you guys because I know that through her, we can all have a greater impact in what we're up to in the world. We can touch more lives. We can, be a bigger presence and an impactful, powerful, soulful being on this planet. And so, oh, there we go. Bruce has his hand up.
I'm just curious. I absolutely love this. I'm just very attuned to energy of different people, and I just amazing energy just online. So I can't even imagine what it's like in person that working with you. But I've been through different experiential workshops, and yeah, they are absolutely amazing and powerful and life changing in that. So, um, but I was wondering what time on the 19th is the workshop?
Let me see if I have a quick answer. I don't remember things like that by
Right.
heart. It's right here. So it's 2 p.m. Mountain Time for
Okay.
3 hours. But again, if you cannot come live, I've had many, many people watch the recording and be blown away by the healing and opening that happened via recording, because the energy does carry through the recording too. So just make sure you register to get access. I will send you an email also about that with all the information about the workshop itself. Yeah,
And it's a 3 hour workshop, you said.
3 hours.
And,
Yeah.
and I want to give a plug to the recording element as well. The cool thing about the recording is you could do it over and over again. So you can have deeper and deeper breakthroughs. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
Mhm.
Thank you.
you bet. That looks like Rick. I don't have my glasses on.
Rick,
So,
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I had my whole, phones turned off to be 1,000% present, and one of my multiple six-figure clients, I didn't turn off my phone, so I still saw it come up on my screen, and I'm like I'm in the middle of something. I don't have to answer my phone call, for people like it's a Saturday, like I'm not even, I'm not even available, and I was just like, but why would this guy be calling on a Saturday, like he knows that. And so I sat there. I don't know if anyone ever saw my mouth move, but I went ahead and answered this call, and it was just like I was super pissed off. I still had a ear thing in, so I'm still listening, but I couldn't hear very well because he was talking so loud. And and I just said, buddy, I'm in the middle of something, super profound. I did not know about this thing, Michael. I was looking up something else that I'd just finished and saw, hey, it's about to start. And I was like, oh, geez. And I just hopped on this. I read what it was. I'm like, and this is gonna. I'm not trying to sound arrogant or anything. This has been a huge breakthrough. So just interpret the way it's meant to be, not what it might sound like. But I was like, I read that intro thing. I'm like, I don't have any money blots. Like I'm the most abundant person in the world. And I was just like, and something just told me to go ahead and tune into it. Um, and it was so profound. So what I wrote in the comments was like, my gosh, I said, this has been amazing you said, why are you here? And I was just like, I had to really ask myself, why did I was like, I, it's very powerful to know how other people think, right? I don't have a very, I'm not very analytical. I have to have other people when I'm investigating companies and things like that. I have to hire teams of people that are, the most analytical minds in the world because I just like, I wouldn't even ask that question, because it's not one of my skill sets. And so it's a huge power for me to hear how other people were raised, other blocks that people have had. I wasn't, I was right there, like, I got to go thank my parents again. My dad's already passed away, but I still talk to my dad all the time. And my mom, most amazing, person in the world. And I'm just like, I've expressed my gratitude. I've expressed the thing. We were so dirt poor. It was unbelievable to me. We raised our own fruits, vegetables, and animals. I learned how to sew at a young age just because I didn't want to wear used clothes from Goodwill and other stuff. And so I made my own clothes, became a designer, a teenager. And to their credit, they made me believe, I'm getting a tear coming out of my eye. I was like, they made me believe that anything was possible. Anything. They read to me in the Bible, like all my favorite. I wrote one of my dear friends in there. I think I I'm not saying I think she's one of my dear friends. I'm saying I think she was the one that wrote it about money's a sin, and how profound that I was raised in a household where, she's like asking me who my favorite characters were in the Bible, and then saying like, Rick, it said as far as his eye could see, it was all his own. That God did not intend for us to be poor. It was not like, oh, this person's not good because they had all these things. Like you're interpreting this the wrong way if somebody thinks that way. And anyway, they told me at like 9 or 10 years old, because of the choices they made. As my mom being a volunteer school teacher, even though she had a master's degree, right? Like not getting paid less than a substitute teacher, and my dad choosing to run away from other money because he didn't want it, gave up a house that looked like those. Michael, you might remember the postcards that I saw growing up that said you could either win this. It was only $250,000. That would be like millions of dollars now, or this mansion of a house, white house with pillars in the front. And this was on a postcard one time at our house, and my dad, from raised in New Jersey and all these things, was walking by and said, "Hey, where'd you get a picture of my house?" And I'm like, "Your house?" Like I laughed hysterically. He goes, "No, I goes, I honestly thought that was the picture. I inherited a house that looked exactly like that, but I would have had to live in it. I wasn't allowed to sell. It was a family house. It was on Long Island." I'm like, I held this up and was like, "Can we still go back there?" Like we were so poor, it was crazy. But I'll stop blabbing. The point was,
Thank you.
the
Thank you for
client
sharing.
called in who, I mean, he's a multiple six-figure client, very successful person. And I read to him my answers. I said, I started out, I read him this part of what do I do? And then I said, why am I here? To learn about maybe other people's blocks, things, to be more empathetic to other people's situation. And later on, I wrote about, and he knows these things to be true because he's a client. He knows that I, for 6 years didn't have anybody. My minimums were 100,000, not because nobody had ever asked for less. I pay people 20% a month on what they give me, and nobody had asked for less than 20,000 a month. And all of a sudden,
Yeah.
I was going to all these other countries, never had one person complain or say, "Oh, I can't participate," or "I can't find a way to get that." 6 years, and then I opened up to international clients with AI and the fact that I can speak 180 languages now, like Michael. Um, and I lowered it down to 5,000. Like I can help anybody. Like even some country might want to just get $1,000 a month. And I had never opened myself up to so much negativity and people with a lack mindset of like, oh, I couldn't do this, I can't do this, and oh, that'd be so
Yeah.
hard to get this. And
May I
here's
say something in response, Rick? I
yeah,
so
please.
appreciate what you're sharing. It's because you're talking about people who actually have a lot of money. And one thing that I have seen that people who are even billionaires actually also can have money blocks. Just because people have money doesn't mean they don't have money blocks. So exactly what you're saying, Rick, right? You see all these people, but then they're in lack consciousness. Like I worked with a multi-million dollar client who was trying to raise $600 million. And really, the money blocks are the same. They're the same. It's not like millionaires and billionaires don't have them.
Just different.
It's just a different level, but the money block that's blocking going to the next level is still the same. Money blocks just show themselves when we want to go to the next level. And that's when we get to know the limitation, like, shit, what is this limitation? What's not letting me rise? And that's the money block. And it could be for you if you're trying to make 5,000 extra dollars, or if you try to make 500 million extra dollars. It's really the same inner work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, but
Thank you, Rick, so much
the
for sharing
profound
that.
part, the reason why I mentioned my client calling was that this guy has done hundreds of thousands of dollars with me, and he was sitting there crying on the phone, just me sharing these things. And he's like, and he just started sharing all these things that, I mean, we've known each other for such a long time. I've been to his kids' birthday parties, like we're friends, not just a client. And he was emoting on such a level that I was just like, it was causing me to cry. I was sitting there just like, God, if anyone's seeing me on camera right now, just like Rick is really, but this, he just telling some of these things on there, and he's like, I was told I couldn't, because I said some people, I said, I'm so grateful that people, I'm reading some of the comments people made, like people told they're not good enough there, you're going to be a failure, all these things, these negative things, and he just started telling me all the things that he was raised with, and anyway, I was just like, there's no accents in this life. It's just
Well,
incredible.
and here's the thing is this is about the piece that I said in the beginning about her work is it's experiential. We're in it, we're experiencing it as opposed to just hearing it or reading about it. That's what's great. And so it moves energy like you had going on, Rick, and then even moves the energy of the people around you who tap into your sphere. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
My pleasure.
This was just introductory, Rick.
Right.
This was just an introductory webinar. Like if this was profound for you, like you'll be blown away by the 3-hour workshop. So make sure to come there for sure.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You bet. Thank
I want to
you.
go to
Yeah.
Dan, who has been patiently waiting.
Hi, thank you much. This was extraordinary and incredibly timely. I am 82, moving out of poverty all of my life, invited 2 weeks from now to meet with a bunch of very wealthy people in New York to figure out how we merge our agendas and move ahead. And unfortunately, I will be there, so I can't attend your workshop. But this has been extraordinarily helpful. I've in the short time we've been together, I've gone through all the blocks, I think, and I'm now ready to meet some millionaires and billionaires on their own turf with great confidence.
That's awesome.
Wonderful.
So,
Wonderful.
Congratulations.
And again, no worries if you cannot come live on September 19th. Make sure you get access because the recording will
Yeah.
be also very profound. Because the real shift, the real change, the real transformation is when you release those blocks from the subconscious.
Right.
Today we were just talking about, today we were talking about what lives in your fridge. Okay, that's what's in your fridge. But you clear the fridge. It's a whole different process that's more experiential to take the things out of the fridge that are blocking you. Right. So that's like a whole different work where we go in. It's like a shamanic journey through the breath, through the sound. It's a really extraordinary experience. So definitely.
I understand all of that and the need for it. I'm on board.
Awesome.
Thanks
Anything
much.
else? Let's see, is there
Any other questions or anything popped into the chat?
people just
No,
expressing
yeah, people
gratitude?
needing to go. Yep, awesome. Yeah, thank you all so much. We're excited to share this. I was excited to share Julia with you today, and we didn't even. This is kind of accidental that our clothing is kind of really close in color, but did not plan that at all.
Something higher planned it all.
Yeah.
So good to be with you all. I'm so impressed by the level of impact you're creating, like Dan, what you just shared, and Rick and everyone else, Liz, and all of you, Bruce. Truly, what an incredible work you're doing in the world. And thank you for doing your own inner work so you could serve even greater.
Yes.
Thank you for that. And I look forward to seeing you on September 19th and some of you on one-on-one. So you'll receive 2 emails. One is the capitalized letters, claim your spot for one-on-one call. And the second email will be about the workshop. And then you'll get the coupon code there too.
All right. Y'all have a great rest of your day and enjoy your weekend. And thank you for sharing your Saturday with us. We appreciate you and look forward to seeing you soon.
Much love.